Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. A few days ago, me and my partner had an argument, and I lost. But somehow I was happy. Weird? You wanna know why? Keep watching to find out. Hi there, my name is Seven Wolf, and in this channel I share things that I have experienced and learned, hoping that it would help other people. So please consider subscribing. In this video, I would just like to give a shout out to my mother and to all the mothers in the world. Happy Valentine's. Thank you for all the love and care and for allowing us to be born in this world. Now going back to the topic, a few days ago, I was going through a lot and I was having a hard time. And as always, I shared them with my partner. As I was in the process of sharing to her what was on my mind, she also shared her thoughts. And as I was listening to her, I felt something. I was irritated and I started to get angry because I felt that she was not putting herself into my shoes. She was not accepting what I'm trying to say, and it turned out into a heated argument. And whenever I get angry, I feel like I could throw up. And it made me more uncomfortable. And as we exchanged arguments, I got reminded of a thought I had a few weeks ago, and it keeps popping into my head throughout the conversation. It was to stop and listen, not only to her, but to myself. And as I listened to what she was saying, I became more angry, not to her and not to myself. I was angry because I didn't want to admit that what she is saying weighs more than mine. And there I realized a few things. First would be that in an argument, there are times that both sides are right. It's just that there's one side that weighs more or better than the other. And in the argument that I had with my partner, we were both correct. It's just that her point weighs or much better than mine. Next is in an argument, we are sometimes misled by something. It is that the idea that we're fighting for or the idea that we're supporting is wrong if ever we don't win the argument. I think it is because as we grow up, we were told that if one is right, then the other one is wrong. And we were told that being wrong is bad, and no one wants to be bad. So we try our best to prove that what we're fighting for is right. We were not used to the idea that both sides can be right. It's just that there is one side that is much better. You can't deny that you had arguments in the past where both sides were right. It's just that both sides could not decide or accept that one side is better than the other. So as a result, you both lost. You lost to anger. So the small and simple conversation turned into a heated and explosive arguments. This is also one of the small things we don't notice causing some relationship or friendship to end. And in reality, this is also one of the reasons why many of the world leaders and government officials could not come into conclusion because both sides try their best to prove that what they're fighting for is right and the other one is wrong, which in reality, both sides are correct. Going back, if I was not able to notice and if I was not strong enough to admit that her side or her point was better than mine, it could have escalated to both of us pointing which is which. And in my experience with the past arguments that we had, we end up bringing old arguments and try to connect it with the current argument and start blaming each other to know who is better than the other. Admit it, you or something you know experienced it before. It started with a small and simple conversation that turned into a heated and explosive war, and some ended into a throwing war. This is the scene where everything in arm's reach are sent flying. And as a result, you get phones shattered, broken walls, and worst, bruises. And these are just some on the list. Before we proceed to the next point, if you're getting value from this video, please hit that like button and please consider subscribing if you still haven't. That would really help me know if I would make more videos like this. And leave a comment down below if you have any questions that you want me to answer on my next video. Going back in an argument, oftentimes we only hear ourselves. We unconsciously jump in the conclusion that what we are fighting for or the idea that we're supporting is right and the other side is wrong. As a result, we don't hear them out. And sometimes we only hear things for us to be able to make a reply or use for our defense. This is where the line we usually hear in an argument comes to play. It goes like, after all the things that I have mentioned, you only understood one thing. I have experienced this before. I have arguments with my partner in the past which goes like this. In one of my statements, I unconsciously included the word amount. And in English, it translates to stupid. And after all the things that I have mentioned, all the points that I have pointed out, her next reply was, so you think I'm stupid? All this time, you think I was stupid. I translated it for you guys. It may not be the same exact words that she said, but I'm sure that's what she meant. I also have experienced this in the past where I am the one who is on the defensive side and only hear the things that I want to hear. And just to clarify, we no longer talk like that. Going back to the present argument, as she was saying something, there were two things in my mind. It was a reply to what she was saying, and the other one was telling me to pause. This thought that tells me to pause has been in my mind for a few minutes now. But I keep ignoring it because I was angry, and as the argument progressed, hearing every statement and response she made me more irritated and angry. It is because it became much clearer that what she is saying is far better than what I am fighting for. I didn't know what to say and I didn't know what else to do. So I decided to listen to the voice inside my head. So I paused. I took large and long breaths and reflected on the argument and the situation as a whole. After a few minutes of silence, I told her in a small voice, "You know what? You're right. What you're saying is right." Then after, she turned to me with shock in her face, saying, "You know what? This is the first time you admit that I am right." And I replied, "That's not true. There were many times that you were right." And then she replied, "Yes, but this is the first time you admitted defeat." Then we both laughed. Then I shared to her the realization that I had, which she agreed. Then after, I made a follow-up that the point that I was saying was also right, and she accepted it. Just like how the saying goes, loosen to tighten. You loosen up or back down and then try again until it works. I am sharing this to you guys so you can learn from it. And let me tell you beforehand, doing or practicing this is not easy. Like I said before, I ignored the voice inside my head telling me to pause so many times. And I am not that confident right now that I can always do this in every argument that we will have. It will take some time and a lot of practice to be able to do this unconsciously in every arguments. So it is better to remind yourself that there is another option that you can do whenever you're in a situation where both of you were right or simply you're in an argument. We just have to train ourselves how to respond in different situations. As an exercise, I want to share with you guys 3 things I regularly remind myself every time I'm in a conversation or an argument. I repeat this inside my head throughout the conversation. It is pause, reflect, and act. It is a small mind exercise so that you can lessen the possibility of you jumping into conclusions. Let me know what you think of this mind exercise in the comments down below. Life is hard, especially if we easily lose control. So let's help each other out in spreading the positive vibe. There's a plane passing by. So let's have a moment. Tagal. I think it is because as we grow up, we were told that if the other one is right, then the other one is left. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Live inspired.